Hi, welcome back to OD YouTube channel. My name is Paulo and we are here for another day of the Diamine Inkvent Calendar Black Edition for 2024, and today it's day 19 and here it is. Let's see what we do have here. It looks like a kind of a peach color and it's called Fruit Cocktail, and it is a scented ink with this name. I'm quite curious how this ink smells. However, one of the things that I have to say about inks that have some smell is that sometimes it disappears after the ink is dry, so it's really an experience for the writer, not for the reader of the writing, if that makes sense. So stay there and we'll make the swatch of the ink. So I uncapped this and it smells really nice. Smells like peach mostly, and it's really a nice smell, and you can smell it from home, but if you purchase the calendar then you can smell it. By the way, it was sent by Appelboom, so if you want to support me and him, you can buy from him. So this is a very beautiful color. I remember a color that would be similar from one of the older calendars, but I like oranges. It's also kind of a color that I like. So this color convinces me. Let me just smell it. Yes, it smells really nice. So let's see how it dries. I hope it stays dark and does not go lighter. So I'll be right back when it's dry. And here we have this gorgeous orange ink that I have to say that is quite transparent, because you can see perfectly the squares of the paper, and it is a beautiful color. It has no shading in this swatch, and it doesn't have any scent already, so it doesn't really stay on paper. It's not a way to send a scented letter to someone. It is just a way to enjoy a nice scent while you're writing. So let's take a look at how it compares with other inks. So I have here several inks. First, from outside the calendar, the Lamy Bronze, which is a nice ink. You can say it is similar, but this one has lots of shading. We have Jacques Herbin Orange Soleil, which is a little lighter and more yellow. I also have one of my favorite oranges ever, which is Mont Blanc Lucky Orange. You can see it's darker than Lamy Bronze and it is saturated. It has some shading and it even has some sheen, as you can see there, some kind of a pinkish sheen. So this is a different color. I also have here from Calendar 2021 number 7 Candlelight, which is really a yellow, not an orange, but I thought it would be interesting just for comparison. I have another ink that is a fruity ink, which is the Peach Punch, and this ink is different because it's more kind of a salmon color than, or peach color than a real orange. And then an ink that I think it has some similarities, which is the Wonderland, but it is more yellow. It's more close to the Jacques Herbin and it has some shading, very similar with the Jacques Herbin Orange Soleil. So this ink is quite different from everything else, and one of the most interesting characteristics of it is that it doesn't shade, as we can see here on this swatch. About the chromatography, we have here and we can see that, no water resistance. It just leaves a stained, watery, kind of pinkish thing, and then the yellow is all washed away. So we can say it is kind of a magenta, very light magenta ink with a quite strong yellow color that is completely water soluble and not resistant. So let's see, for this ink, which pens did I choose? So I chose two pens that are from the same brand and with the same kind of color. One is this. This is a pen that you may recognize or not. It's not that well known, I think. It was a limited edition for the year 2000. And it is the Leonardo Officina Italiana Messenger in orange. It is transparent in some parts, as you can see. It has a very beautiful resin. It is a cartridge converter pen. It has a steel nib. At this time, this nib was made by Bock, and the engraving was like that. And it is an extra fine steel nib. Number 6. So it is an interesting pen. It was special edition, several colors for the year 2000, and then the year 2000 was that horrible year in many aspects, and I already have some ink on the inside, and I don't remember, just let me clean it. I think you can see there is some ink there under the clip. This is not really part of a review, but I just want to take most of it off if I can. So let's just roll the paper inside. Okay, no more ink stain there. Done. So one is this Leonardo Officina Italiana Messenger limited edition fountain pen. The other one is this. This is the beautiful pen, the Leonardo Officina Italiana Momento Zero Grande, which is the name of the model. This is the Pura. The color is, the model Pura is this one that has the translucent things with frosty finish. Pura finish, and the color is Arancio or orange, and it has ruthenium plated trim. So lots of names to name this pen. So it is a Leonardo Momento Zero Grande, actually, and it has a nice, interesting, translucent look. It is orange, and it has a black nib. This one made by Jovo, already with a different design. I hope you can see it. This one is a fine, so an extra fine against a fine, and this one is a piston filler pen. Okay, too much time already with the pens. Let's go for the writing samples. We have here the three papers that I usually use. We have the Moleskine. We have a ink that looks light enough, but in this paper it looks a little bit more pinkish. It is light, it has no shading on this paper, but it looks nice. It behaves quite well, just a little bleed through, but not that much. But it behaves quite well. No shading, no special characteristics. It's a light ink, but it is contrasty enough with the paper to be able to use it and to read it. On Oxford paper, no bleed through, and again, almost no shading, not any special characteristic. And on the Navigator copy paper, we have bleed through, but that's usual with the copy paper, and it looks much less saturated here in this paper than on the Oxford paper, you can see, because I think it's because here it gets absorbed by the paper, it goes to the other side, so it looks a little light. In this case it's not absorbed by the paper, it stays all on the top, it gets dry and it gets darker. So overall, this is not a special ink in any special way, but it is a nice color, quite uncommon to see. There are some oranges, but as I showed you with this shade of orange, not that many. No shading, no special characteristic, but an interesting color that I enjoy. And it smells good when you're writing with it. Then the smell goes away, the scent goes away. So this is the test on the Rhodia paper, and what I did here was just, I usually do this, I forgot. So what I do here is to write the name of the pen, the name of the paper, the name of the ink, and then I have made this line and these swirls, and I put some drops of water on top of it, and as you can see, and as we could predict by the chromatography, there is no water resistance, and there is a slight stain of kind of a pinkish color. It has no shading, not any special characteristic, no sheen, and the drying time is between 10 to 15 seconds. So it's quite reliable. So an orange ink that is saturated enough to be to allow us to read. It is at the same time transparent enough. It smells good, it looks good, and that's it. So let's just write the phrase. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, and this was with Leonardo Messenger, and with Leonardo Pura with a fine nib. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. This pen is really nice, and you can see there the ink and there also. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I thought this ink is interesting and allows for, imagine if you are a teacher and you need to correct papers. This is a nice color, not as sharp as a red or harsh as a red. It's more I don't have the good name for this. It's more soft than a red, and this is it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is the ink for day 19. I hope you'll be back for tomorrow's video, day 20. So see you next time. Bye.